Gunnar solskjaer has been appointed the permanent manager of Manchester United. Glad to say that Gary Neville joins us on the line now. Gary, good morning to you. Interesting to see you tweet this week that Manchester United just needed to get on and make this permanent signing. They've done so. Let's just give us your reaction.
I'm delighted for Ollie. Obviously, first and foremost, when he was appointed, I never envisaged that he would get the permanent job. I think obviously I remember at the time speaking to yourselves and talking about Maurizio Pochettino being sort of the number one candidate, and thought Ollie was just coming in to sort of steady the ship, get everybody happy again. But the results and performances have been beyond incredible, really. I mean, almost flawless. Obviously, people will point towards the Wolves game and the Arsenal game just recently, but generally I think in the last 3 or 4 months the performances have been fantastic and the results have. So I'm delighted for him. Obviously the hard work starts now. I think that a couple of weeks ago I first said I thought it would be in the international break. It just made sense to do it in the international break. I always said sort of end of March, April was the right time to reflect. And if it had gone past today, I would have been sort of thinking that Ollie wouldn't be the permanent manager of Manchester United, because it would have been delayed to the end of the season.
And Gary, have we seen in recent weeks a kind of settled feel at Old Trafford that perhaps we haven't seen since Sir Alex Ferguson was in charge? And as such, how big a boost will this be to the change room, given that, as you say, they can rightly settle down and get on with it now?
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear. Manchester United have still got a long way to go before they get back to anywhere near where they should be. And I don't think today is a time to start thinking that Manchester United can win the league in the next 10 minutes. What I would say is that it's been an unhappy place, I think, for 4 or 5 seasons. So I think step one is actually getting the fans excited about walking across the road and going to the game again. And to be fair, in the last 2 or 3 months, for the first time I felt going to the games excited by sort of what I've seen, the atmosphere in the ground has returned, the sort of joy on the fans' faces, the away following, obviously, which is always fantastic, has sort of connected with the team again and the fans. The players obviously have upped their game. So I think it's base one, this, which is obviously getting the club happy again, and sort of that's where it's at. There's a lot of hard work still to do in the sort of coming months and years to be able to get Manchester United back to where it was before. So Louis van Gaal today state that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's football is Jose Mourinho's, but winning. Louis van Gaal's football at Manchester United was the worst I've ever seen, and Jose Mourinho's was far better than Louis van Gaal's, even though it obviously wasn't acceptable in terms of what the fans want to see. So, we've had a lot of change at the club in the last 4 or 5 years with different managers coming in, world-class managers. It's not worked. Ole has brought in a level of happiness and excitement back to the fans. At least that's something, because to be fair, it has been difficult in the last 3 or 4 years to watch what we've seen.
And Gary, it has been so unsettled, as you've mentioned there. How important is it to have this continuity between now heading into what's going to be a vital transfer window? And what do you think will be the priorities?
I think obviously defensively is the main one, in terms of obviously getting the centre-back pairings right. There's been so many changes in the defence. I think the defence is actually doing very well. And when I look at the defence, though, it still looks makeshift on paper, but performs. It outpunches its weight when you think about it. Antonio Valencia and Ashley Young have been sort of doing brilliantly well at right and left back for a few years. Luke Shaw started to perform really well in this last few months. The centre-back pairings, Lindelof's had a good season. Chris Smalling's doing well. But in terms of sort of that dominant presence, I think that's the key thing. Probably a full-back and a centre-back, and then there are other areas in the team. I think what I would say is that, obviously from Ollie's point of view, he does need the right support around him now, and that was something that I said a few months ago, that the structures in and around him, the people, the quality of the people in and around him to ensure that Manchester United get ahead of the game in recruitment is critical. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not going to be a success at Manchester United unless he gets the right people around him on recruitment, or the club get the right people around him on recruitment and get the right players in. And that's absolutely essential. And obviously the amount of money that Manchester United will need to spend will be big. But the club, to be fair to them over this last 5 or 6 years, haven't fallen short on that. The club have always supported David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. So I don't suspect the club will fall short in the financial terms. I think they'll spend the money. What I would say is, it's still in the back of my mind that the players have been fantastic in this last few months for Ole. But, I still have in the back of my mind that, they were the same players who, to be fair, down tools under Jose Mourinho. And I'm conscious in my mind that the players now need to continue to maintain that level of concentration and determination and attitude now that Ollie's been made the permanent manager. That's the critical thing. Getting the signings right, getting the people in around Ollie right who can get the signings in, and making sure that the current players who the performances have improved continue to stay at the levels that they've been at in this last 3 months and don't dip back to where they were before.
Yeah, it'll be intriguing to see what happens. Gary, thanks very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.